over the last few months. Things are upside down right now, whether it's with the soldiers or first responders, whatever it is. Just it gets a little warmer, it gets crazy times out in the community, and we just want to keep them safe. We want to keep our soldiers safe, and of course, bring peace to the Middle East. That seems like an awful lot to pray for, but maybe one good intense prayer, maybe that can move mountains. So let's rise for the pledge, and then moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. We have public comments as to start off the meeting. We're going to start with Betty Kemuth, I believe, who lives at 563 Palmerston Drive.
Yes.
Welcome, Betty, to the Board of Trustees meeting.
Thank you very much. I have brought you some pictures to show you of what I'm talking about. I'm being plagued by vicious wolves from this house next door, 560. This is my house, and this is my grandson. He's trying to cut the grass, and there's a dog on the other side of him trying to jump over the fence.
These three dogs? The little dogs here? What am I missing?
It's a big dog. What you're missing is there's about 8 dogs over there.
Okay. Okay, right there. So in that.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now I see
I
it.
would have brought you a whole bunch more.
No, this is fine.
My computer didn't print this stuff. Anyway.
I'm going to have you go to the mic so we can all hear. Because people at home right now are sure going, hey, I can't hear.
Okay. Well,
Tell us what's going on, and we see the pictures with the dogs, and your grandson is trying to cut the grass, and the other dog is trying to get over the fence to get him.
yes,
But the dog is in the fence line in the other yard.
yes.
You can
Yes.
come up, sure.
Anytime we get within, all I have to do is walk on my back porch and they start barking. And I was out trying to spray some weeds, and one of them tried to get over the fence to me, and my son was trying to measure for a fence. We thought if we got a big fence put over there, maybe they'd go away or something. And they were jumping on the fence trying to get a hold of him.
Have they ever physically made contact with anyone that you know of?
Well, they got out one time, and one of the neighbors said that they, 2 sons had chased them to try and get them back home, and they had turned on them. They didn't bite them, as far as I know, they didn't bite anybody, but I sure as heck don't want the first one of them bite or be me or my grandson when he's trying to cut my grass.
Okay. And then this picture with the little ones here, are these their puppies or no?
Well, about 4 weeks ago, he told me that he was going to raise a litter of guard dogs. What my question is, can he raise guard dogs to sell in a private neighborhood?
I'm going to bring Chief Braun in, if you would, our police chief. Tony. And then with the next step might be, go ahead.
Yep, thank you, Trustee Davis. So, there are regulations for home occupation, occupations. This is the first time I've had one come up to where they're breeding animals to sell. So I'd probably have to do a little more digging and get back with the resident to see if that would fall under our regs that would control, we don't control animal husbandry in the township.
And so Mr. Roach's point, it may be that because the General Assembly has said you can't regulate agricultural uses, animal husbandry could be one, depends on the size of the lot, depends. There's a whole bunch of depends. The point is we may or may not, I just don't know without knowing more, and I'm not going to opine today because I need to know more, but we may not be able to regulate it, we may, I just don't know enough at this point.
Okay. And have you had contact with Mr. Roach before? So let's start here tonight and make sure you've got his contact so he can kind of do an inspection, kind of figure out what's going on there. Did you talk to the neighbors about, like, hey, we're concerned?
I talked to this man and I said, what do you need all of these guard dogs for in this neighborhood? And he says, oh, I'm gonna raise a whole litter of guard dogs and he's gonna sell them.
Did he show any concern, like when the dogs were barking trying to jump the fence? Was he like, it won't hurt you? Did he say anything, or is he just like, sorry?
They don't say nothing.
Okay, so Mr. Roach, make sure they have your contact information and he'll get out there. Are you on tomorrow?
Yes, I'll be
Maybe
in the
we
office
can get out
tomorrow.
there first thing tomorrow and just kind of get an idea of it and then,
May I have that address again, Trustee Davis?
what was it?
May I have that address again?
Yes, 563 Palmerston.
No, 561 is where they live.
Okay, that's fine, but in order to make contact with you, it's 563, but theirs is
Okay.
561. Yeah.
The other thing is, my son and grandson were cleaning up the backyard, because I have a lot of get-togethers in my backyard, but I can't now. So they're keeping me from being able to use my backyard, which is not a bad backyard. You can see I've got a fireplace back there and all kinds of stuff. And I have the back porch that we feed on. About 3 weeks ago, I guess, they brought this big cage and they put little dogs in it. And my son and grandson were there cutting grass, and these dogs were out while they were in the hot sun, they were out there crying. So I called the township and asked them what to do. And they gave me the name of Dog Police or whatever. And they came out there and checked that house at 11 o'clock at night. There wasn't any sun at 11 o'clock at night.
So the dogs were inside, they weren't barking, they weren't doing anything?
No, yeah.
The bigger ones do bark at night.
Okay,
The bigger ones bark, we can get out of our car and the bigger ones bark. The neighbors across the street could get out of their car and they bark.
okay, I'm gonna flip it over to our chief here.
So Trustee Davis, what I would suggest, like we usually do, I'll get with Tony and we'll meet with the complainant here and figure out what we can do to obviously come up with some kind of resolution to fix the problem.
Well, shouldn't they have a bigger fence? They got this fence, they tried to crawl under it, they tried to knock it down, and it's about to fall over.
One of them actually has crawled under it. The pit bull has crawled under it.
Has gone under the fence, is it their fence or your fence?
I'm not sure.
We're not sure
Okay.
who owns the fence.
Mr. Roach?
Yeah, so typically, what type of fence is it, ma'am? Is it
It's chain link.
chain link? Are the poles on the inside where you can see them, or are they on the opposite side where you only see the chain link part of it?
I never did pay attention, do you?
I think the poles are on the other side.
So typically the poles are on that, whatever poles the side's on, that's who owns the fence. So it's potential.
So that would mean they own the fence?
It's potential, and I can look up this address to see if there's ever was a permit issued for the fence, and I'd have a better understanding of if it was yours, if a permit was ever issued for, your address or her address.
Well, the problem is, this is a rental property, and the people who actually own the house are from, some LLC, I'm not sure if it's from Alabama, some sort of state. And now they've got a bunch of junk, they're stacking on the side of the house. I think there's a couch and I don't know what all else. I don't know what they're planning to do.
Once we're there, ma'am, as well, if there's any other violations like debris and that, we can address that as well. It kind of looks like the poles are on your neighbor's side, so it's probable that's their fence. And to your question about, we can't, if the fence is code compliant, we can't tell them they have to have a privacy fence or a chain link fence or a split rail fence. We can't dictate what they want on their property.
Well, it'd be nice if it was a 6-foot-high fence.
Yeah, we can't force them, unfortunately, we can't force them to put a 6-foot-high fence there.
Well, what are the laws and regulations about vicious dogs?
So,
I'll go back to Chief.
ma'am, what I'll do is I'll go over all that stuff with you when we meet up with you. I mean, there's a lot of criteria that the dogs have to meet before they are labeled a vicious dog. There's so many times they have to get out. There's so many times if they bite somebody or kill another animal. So there's a lot of things that this law specifically requires for a dog to be labeled as a vicious animal. But I prefer is if, you know, that Mr. Roach and I come over and we'll come see you. We'll sit down, we'll take a look to see what's going on in the backyard, and we'll be more than happy to do what we can to help you out.
I hope so. I'm 87 years old. I don't have very much time on this earth. And I would certainly like to live the rest of my life in peace.
And we want that for you as well.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely,
They have
no.
done some stuff to the fences when the dogs had got out. They actually have put some poles along the bottom to keep them from crawling under, and then
We'll have to look into it. Anything tonight is just speculation, but
You know, these dogs never are any place except by that fence. Their yard is a mess. There's big trees in it. I don't know if they just don't know where to go, but there's a patio there, and I don't know. I'm so frustrated.
Very good.
Thank
They
you.
will definitely get with you, Chief, and also Mr. Roach, and just see maybe we can find some common ground here. How about that?
Okay.
Thanks for coming out. We do appreciate that.
I would be happy. I don't want the woman coming over to my house again. The day after the dog police came, she came over to my house, gave me hell up one side and down the other. Said she could have 10 dogs in her backyard if she wanted to, and I should not talk to anybody, her husband, but her. I'd never see that woman outside. I never want to see that woman or man, either one.
Unfortunately, when Chief Brown and I do make arrangements to come to your property, we'll probably have to access your property and go in your backyard so we can, Chief Brown can check out the dogs and I can check out the fence. So we probably need permission from you all
God, I
to
hope
let
you
us
don't-
access your property.
I hope you don't do good.
Very good.
Really do.
I think you protect us.
Well, my son is threatened. He said, if they bite my son, he's gonna, no, my son. My son said, if they bite my son, I'm gonna shoot him.
Well, hopefully we can avoid all of that, and again,
Yeah, I don't
work
want him,
together
I don't want
and
him getting in trouble for
keep
shooting.
peace in the
somebody.
valley there. Yeah, we don't need that. So thanks, and we appreciate it very much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Nadia Wade, 561 Palmerston. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. So I am the neighbor that she's referring to. She's talking about my husband. We do have dogs. We have an XL Bully and we have a South African Mastiff. And she just had 2 puppies. They're about 7 weeks. Well, she had 6, but we only have 2 left. So they're about 7 weeks old. They only bark when they are letting us know that something is going on outside. So they're not vicious. They've gotten out a couple times, but I do have 2 older sons that live in the house, so they've gone and gotten them. But as far as the barking, they're pretty much quiet, but they only bark when there's something going on around the perimeter to let us know, like, hey, somebody's outside.
Mrs. Wade, you said twice that they have gotten out by your own admission, twice.
Yes,
What
they
have you
have.
done to make sure it doesn't happen a third time for them getting out?
So we actually, it is a rental property. We have gotten the fence fixed. But there is a kennel. The kennel she's referring to was actually towards the back of the yard, and we moved it to the landing that's in the backyard. So one is in the kennel. Only one has gotten out, not the other one. The XL Bully stays in the backyard. He doesn't get out. He only follows the South African Mastiff because he's not the alpha. So if she gets out, then he follows, but he's always back there. As far as her, she's called we've been there for almost 5 years now. She's called the Dept Heads on us multiple times. She's called the Dog Humane Society on us, which is who she's referring to. They showed up at my house at 11 o'clock at night. I have children, small children. One of my children, he is autistic. So just want you guys to know that. My husband, he is a veteran. He has served this country. We are tax-paying citizens just like everybody else. We don't bother her. She is constantly calling on us for something. We don't talk to her, we don't say anything to her. So when she called the Dog Humane Society, I did go over there and I asked her, did you call? She said yes. And I asked her to please stop calling people on us. If she needs us to bring the dogs in, she can knock on our door, she can ring the doorbell, and we will bring them in. She's done it before at 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we brought them in. If she comes over and says, hey, I got people working in my yard, can you let them in? We let them in. But she's constantly calling somebody on us and complaining. And all we do is mind our business. Like I said, we are a blended family. It's me, my husband, and I can't keep up. We're a blended family. We got 7 kids total, but in the house, there's me, my husband, our 2 little ones, and our 2 oldest boys who are getting ready to graduate from Oak Hills High School this Saturday as well. So, she's the only person that it feels like she's harassing us because she's constantly calling. So I told her, I said, please stop calling people on us. If you need us to bring the dogs in, we will bring the dogs in. We don't bother her. And she was like, well, if you could just keep them quiet, I would really appreciate it. And if you could just do this, okay, that's fine. And I did tell her, please stop addressing my husband. If you need something, if you have something you want to say, talk to me, talk to the woman of the house. If your son wants to talk to my husband, he can talk to my husband. But if you have something to say, you talk to me. So that's that. I'm the neighbor she's referring to. Our dogs are not vicious. Again, they only bark when there's something going on. There's other dogs walking down the street. They may see the dogs, they bark. If there's something going on. But I literally sat there and watched them out my window because when she complained the last couple times, I watched them out the window and they sat in the backyard really nicely, catching a breeze.
Yeah.
Laying back, not doing anything. They were quiet as a mouse.
Have your dogs ever bitten anyone, snapped?
No.
And how old are they?
The South African Mastiff, she is about 2.5, and then the XL Bully, he's 3. So they don't bother anybody. Usually, we're getting them outside because they've been in the house majority of the winter months, but they are outside, and then the 2 little puppies, they're 7 weeks old. So.
And when they bark, do you immediately go out and bring them back in just in order to keep the peace? Or
Yeah, absolutely. And I know when somebody's out there. Like I've seen her son out there cutting grass. So when I hear her, it's mainly her that's barking, the girl dog. When she's barking, I will go let her in. Or somebody was cutting the yard. I think it was yesterday, and I heard her constantly barking, so I went and let her in. But we don't just let them sit there and just bark all night long. But she is constant. It feels like she's bothering us. We don't say anything to her. We don't bother her. She's just constantly complaining, constantly calling somebody on us. And all we do is try to live our life and mind our business. So I wish she would just do the same.
Yeah. Well, as you heard, obviously she just spoke before you. She's going to meet with Mr. Roach and also our police chief, as you are also welcome to do that also.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think the ultimate goal is, like I said, is just keep peace. It should never get to a physical confrontation or any even thought of it. It's that level, back away, walk away, call us, and we can handle it. Not to be light, but we have seen a lot worse than what you described. Not that it's not bad for you, because I get it. I'm surrounded by dogs all the time, and I'm a dog lover myself, but I hear it. But the neighborly thing, obviously, if they're barking and going at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm aware of that. I try to be
and
neighborly. I work. We're both, me and my husband, both are in school. I'm working on my master's. He's working on his. He went back to school. He's working on his bachelor's. Like I said, I'm occupied. I'm busy. I just started a job today, a new job today, and then I have to come down here and deal with this. Like, right. I've been up since 6:30 this morning.
And ultimately, the goal is to get it resolved tonight, tomorrow, so that they can feel at peace where they stay, and you can feel at peace where you are, and focus on what's really important, which is obviously graduating from Oak Hills High School on Highlanders. Congratulations on that.
Yes, thank you.
But I think Mr. Roach and the chief would be glad to meet with all of you again to bring it together. And if there's issues with the fence, let's get it fixed, and so we don't have to go at that. But I also know you got a loose dog running on the street coming at you, and it's that size.
Yeah.
I might know that.
They don't chase anybody. They just get out because they're used to being cooked. But they've never chased anybody. They've never attacked anybody. They're not dogs that attack at all.
And I think that's what she was saying. She didn't want to be the first. So there you go. Good. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Absolutely. Thanks for coming out. Good. Rich Gages, 5793 Jubilee Way. Hello, Mr. Gages.
Right out. Good evening, trustees. My name is Rich Gages. For the benefit of the public, I will be reporting on, I'll be reporting on the events of this meeting and other local news regarding government accountability on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/R2R-R, all lowercase. Disclaimer, before I begin, I want to clarify for the record that my comments today are based on my personal observations, my interpretation of public records, and my understanding of the Ohio Ethics Guidelines. These statements represent my own opinions and concerns as a citizen. They are alleged in nature, intended to seek transparency, and are not to be taken as definitive findings of fact alone. At a previous meeting, I asked this board for feedback on news reporting and government accountability. Trustee Davis gave a good response. Trustee Seavey mentioned passing it by the lawyer, and the rest were silent. I never heard back from any of the trustees, other than the law director, who's not a trustee, but who walked with me in the hallway after that meeting. In conversation, he suggested that I should show up to meetings and make public records requests to hold government accountable. While valid, I'm concerned that the law director's firm, where he is a partner, likely makes money on the processing of those very suggestions. He did not mention accountability tasks with much less likelihood of a financial payout for his firm, such as protesting, gathering signatures, challenging false narratives, or other government accountability and news reporting tasks. The action that I've taken prior to the last meeting, I wrote the law director an email prior to the last meeting, which I forwarded to the trustee and the board, asked for a simple resolution that he formally disclose any financial link his firm has to the suggested services that were made either during or after a public meeting, so that it can be noted in the minutes. I would much prefer to resolve this through direct transparency rather than escalating this matter to the Ohio Ethics Commission or the Board of Professional Conduct or other state agencies and boards. Legal standards in closing. I want to close by recognizing the standards set in New York Times CO versus Sullivan, 1964, and Rosenblatt versus Baird, 1966. These cases affirm the First Amendment protects the right of citizens to engage in uninhibited, robust, and wide-open debate, even when it involves sharp criticism of public officials. Specifically, Rosenblatt clarifies that these protections apply to any official with substantial responsibility for government affairs, which certainly includes the law director. I am asking today, will the law director make this financial disclosure for the record, or must we seek a formal opinion from the state to ensure our local government is operating within the integrity we expect? Thank you.
Mr. Miller? If I can understand it in 20 seconds or less, Mr. Gates, basically what do you want? You experienced something to where you felt like he told you, here's what you should do, get more records, because if you get more records, he makes more money because that's part of what he does, or?
Yes, my concern is he made suggestions in which his law firm that he's a partner in would benefit, and that should have triggered a financial disclosure at the time of the suggestion. That financial disclosure did not come. I emailed both him and the board asking that he address this in the next meeting. That was the last meeting. There was no mention of it. I've received no response from anyone on the board, no response from the law director that I know of, and I'm seeking a local de-escalated resolution to what is a very serious matter in my mind. I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong, that a financial disclosure was not required. I put in a number of records requests to Skylar to try to research that and volunteer my time to find out the truth. To me, it's common sense, should have been a disclosure, but I know my common sense and law don't always line up. I just started getting those records from Skylar recently. The request was put in prior to last meeting, so we're looking at weeks now. And so I didn't have the time to do all that research, because it takes a lot of research just to find out if this fails today, what do I have to go through next, and how do I protect myself from either any kind of defamatory statement that I'm trying to avoid, and that's where the Sullivan, the cases like
Because you think he was unethical in giving you what options you would freely have, as anyone would have.
Not that I think he was unethical. I have concerns and questions of whether he was unethical when he made suggestions to me that were very specific. There's a lot of things he can do with government accountability. He named 2 things that I understand he profits off of indirectly through his law firm, which he's a partner. There's been no financial disclosure on that day, or that I know of officially on the record on any day going forward. I'm just asking for today, 2-minute statement, not a smile and a shake of the head, which I look at as a little bit disrespectful from a lawyer, but a statement from him on the record stating either I'm wrong and this is why, or yes, I had a shortcoming, long day, whatever it was, I overlooked it, I should have given a financial disclosure. We have received and processed some of those requests since I've talked to you about that, and we have profited on it. And I think that would be sufficient to satisfy myself, in addition to notifying the public that we, on the second-hand chance, did the right thing.
But this was a conversation, one minute. But this was a conversation that you had with the attorney. The meeting was finished, this was after everyone was going out, and you guys engaged in a conversation?
No, my understanding that is when he engaged me, he wasn't...
No. You were at that meeting. It happened here, correct? I'm going off of your comments right in the beginning.
The part where I asked for your all's feedback on news reporting and government accountability happened within the meeting.
Right, the conversation that you had, supposedly that you had with him, where he suggested getting records requests in, and you're thinking, yeah, because you make money when we do those records requests, because he has to redact and go through that, which of course, in order to protect the innocent, we do have to go through and look at that. But that conversation that you had with him, was that here, or was that outside of here, down the hall somewhere else, and the meeting was finished? I'm just trying to remember.
Just for clarity, I think what you may be getting at in the end run, which I did have time to research, was whether Brian was acting in his capacity as a Delhi law director.
I'm not going there. Don't read my mind. Don't read my mind.
So
I'm not going there.
So whether
I'm asking you one question.
Yes, sir.
Did that conversation take place here, or was that outside of here? The meeting was over and you two engaged. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just trying to piece it together, as you have done a great job piecing it together. In your mind, what happened? I'm just trying to understand.
That sounds like multiple questions, but to address the
Just
first
give me
question,
one answer. Did it happen here, or did it happen outside the meeting? That's all I'm asking.
my understanding is it started here and continued throughout the hallway, and that conversation continued outside as well.
Not during the meeting.
It was not during the meeting, or it was?
I would classify it as an extension of the meeting.
Was the meeting closed?
I would think so, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so when you saw the lawyer, and again, I'm not defending him, I'm just trying to understand it. It was not in here, it was maybe a passing comment as you're walking out from the meeting.
No, it certainly wasn't a passing comment. This was, my understanding is he was addressing me directly with regard to me addressing the board, asking a question about news and government accountability. There's no question in my mind, based on the research I did, that he was acting in his capacity as a law director of the
Now I
Township.
understand it, now I got it. Do you have anything you want to add?
Not really, because we're frankly wasting citizen time, which by the way I get paid for, so I guess I should be thanking Mr. Gage for his theory of how I get paid. But leaving that aside, there is a resolution, I get paid by the hour, I get paid to defend Delhi. That's out there, you've been given a copy of that I'm aware of. You can see the financial disclosure laws do not apply to me. So you send something to the Ethics Commission, that's why you don't have a response from the Ethics Commission, because they don't apply to me. We had a conversation over there. I tried to answer your question honestly. You want public accountability? Make public records requests or whatever else it is that you want to do. But guess what? My response had been, don't make public record requests. We you darn well would have a different argument, and you get up here claiming that the lawyer said I should stop making public record requests.
Are you putting this on me, lawyer guy? Because for you to start off by saying,
you're not going to interrupt me,
shut
sir.
your mouth.
You have
This is my time. This is my time, sir.
No, it is not.
Whose time is this? Is this my time or this crap time?
If you wanted a response, he's giving you a response, so let him
I want
give-
my time back. I want to reclaim my time.
Your time was over 4 minutes ago, so don't go there.
I'm out then.
No, I'm giving you time to finish this and bring closure. That's all.
What, did I do something illegal, sir?
You didn't do anything. He's just.
Well, he
he's
got
just-
up like he needs to address me when this guy's putting me down.
Okay.
We
we're
are,
trying-
when
we're
a
trying to
citizen
do that.
brings up a concern, apparently out of ignorance,
He's
of a
responding
violation-
to the question that you asked. He has every right to
saying that
respond.
I'm wasting citizens' time.
No one said you're wasting citizens' time.
He
You
said
you're
somebody's wasting citizens'
We
time.
give everybody 5 minutes. I'm on 11 minutes. So we're trying to be good about this to hear what's going on. So let him finish his comment. You can disagree all you want, but firing back disrespectfully to him saying, "Oh, lawyer guy, that's disrespectful too." So let's call it as it is.
It's a
Let him
different
finish his
association
response.
going on here.
What was it?
Different association.
It might be, but you've asked him a question. He's trying to give you the answer. So
He
you
doesn't
can
need
agree
to
with him, but
insult
just-
me when he gives the answer.
What was it?
He does not need to insult me and say we're wasting citizen time when I bring up a question of ethics. That's inappropriate. And him up there smirking and smiling right now in the smart ass way he's doing it is inappropriate. It's not professional. I won't pay somebody $10 for that. Certainly not $2.85 an hour to get up there and laugh at a citizen raising a legitimate concern. Whether it's right or wrong, it's legitimate, it's from the heart, and it's real. And he's
he has
laughing
a
at me.
legitimate right to respond to your legitimate concern. That's all I'm saying. Let him finish his sentence or two without interrupting him saying, "Okay, lawyer boy, that doesn't resolve anything. That resolves nothing. That's disrespectful too. Okay? We're just trying to bring peace here."
I understand you're on his side. I don't think it is okay.
If any on side that I'm on his right side right now. That's the only side. I'm not on any side. There's no side to be on here. You are raising what you consider to be a legitimate concern. He is answering to your legitimate concern. Is that on taxpayer time? It sure is. We're in the middle of a public meeting. It happens. It's government at work.
So we are wasting
No,
the people's
he's
time.
saying that this is when it's going to happen. This is when it should be happening.
He didn't say anything about wasting people's time?
Not a waste of time, maybe a waste of thinking that there are other things that he could be answering to, but he's trying to answer your question. So you feel that, and you shouldn't be disrespected, nor should he be disrespected. Okay? Can he finish?
You run the meeting.
Thank you. Mr. Brian, do you have anything else?
Mr. Chair, thank you. And to the extent that I take the bait, I apologize because I don't want to do anything or say anything that reflects adversity on this township or the trustees. I'll simply say that clearly Mr. Gage knows how much we get paid per hour. He just said it, $2.85. It is very clear that we get paid by resolution. It outlines everything we do. And yes, I get paid by the hour, which has been that relationship for however many years it's been, 10 or 11. And if I have a legal issue to respond to, the township pays me like it would pay any other contractor for work. And I am proud of our work. I am proud of how we've represented this township throughout.
See how he speaks to the board? He doesn't speak to the citizen.
That this board has continued to retain both me and the law firm. And we will continue to provide the excellent service that we do.
Him and the law firm,
And
big money.
Again, I would reiterate to the public that if people make public records requests, that is a way to check and hold people accountable. That's my opinion. Whether it's the trustee's opinion or not is irrelevant. That's my opinion. And if public records requests are made, then yes, we redact them. Because guess what? If we let something out that isn't public record, then the township could be held liable. So I have to be worried about that as well. And again, I would ask the public, if I were to have a conversation with Mr. Gage to say, don't make public record requests and don't exercise your
Total
First Amendment
dodge.
rights,
Red
I guarantee
herring.
there'd be a much different argument. So I appreciate the board. I have tried to answer the question. The financial disclosure laws do not apply to me, and regardless, every financial disclosure is in that. I get paid $2.85 an hour for everything that I do. I bill it. They see a month, an invoice every month, and I am proud of every second of work that I do for this township. Thank you.
Mr. Gage, were you aware that the financial disclosure laws do not apply to him? Did you know that, or are you contesting that, or?
I knew some financial disclosure laws did not apply to him. I learned part through research of my own voluntary time. I learned part through contacting a government agency, which I carbon copy him on. I think in good spirit, if what he says today is truth, that he could have simply emailed me this truth, and we might have had a different outcome today. But the emotion he showed today, just the way he pushed away his microphone, and the way that I think he covered up that he said, I'll go back on the video, it's on video, he talked about wasting people's time, and I think it was directed at a shot at me that was a low ball shot. I came here in good faith to make a good faith complaint about a real concern about one of the highest paid people per hour in our township. We talk about finance, we just passed a big levy that's gonna cost me about $260 a year. So we're putting the money out there, the citizens are throwing me the money, and when we bring up an accountability concern, last thing I want is this guy, whose normal posture is like this, at $2.85 an hour. I watch you all, I did a thing on it, we're not a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. Respectful, respect, super respectful, disrespectful. And you ought to be held accountable for it. At $2.85 an hour, when there's a moment of silence for a figure like Charlie Kirk who was murdered for free speech, he ought to be showing some respect. And if you need a lesson on respect, I'm glad to give it for free, sir. It's disrespectful what you're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Gage.
And you want to get up like you're going to use force upon me for exercising my freedom of speech?
I would just say to the public.
You, yes.
We appreciate.
Is that what you're doing?
The board's transparency.
Appreciate the board, always about the board. What about the citizen? Citizen pays the board.
Articulate things in a way that the public will understand, and I also appreciate the board's support in wanting to.
It's a problem. If that's true, it's a problem. He don't have to financially disclose.
Very good. Thank you. And the others, and you, Mr. Gages, thank you for coming up.
Thank you for listening. I apologize if I was out of line in any way. I'm very passionate about my work, and I get put down a lot. Last person I want put down by is someone who I'm paying to help, $2.85 an hour for someone whose services, if I lived in a free society, I would never be a participant in paying that salary.
I agree 100%. Everyone that comes up to the podium should be respected, just like anyone here on this side of the podium should be respected. So I think we're on the same page. And but more so, thanks for coming up and venting it here. This is where you get stuff done, you know. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Trustee Seaver, you good? Okay. I don't have anybody else signed up to address the board tonight, so we will move in, I guess, to the approval of minutes.
It's a disgrace. He's
We
a
have no minutes
disgrace.
to approve.
So overtime?
Motion to approve the payment of overtime for pay period ending April 28th, 2026.
Seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved.
Seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved. Report from the fiscal officer, Mr. Luby.
Significant transactions since our last meeting. On 5/7, we received $942,000. That was the first half real estate tax settlement. And as far as disbursements, on 5/7, our payroll was $410,000. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. Trustee correspondence, Trustee Seavey.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
I have one point, and since we're all venting in open air here tonight, I'd like to bring up something that's got me fired up. It's been fired up before, and we've talked about it, and then I see some of it on social media. The price of gas in the township, and maybe I'll be dead wrong in saying this, but this is just how I feel. It's how I am on this one. I don't know why it is. When I can go literally 3 minutes down the road and pay 40 cents cheaper for gas. We've had this discussion so many times, and why is gas more expensive in Delhi? And what caught my attention was the one poster said something like, you know, I will never again buy gas in Delhi. And I thought, you know how many times I've thought that myself? And here I am as a trustee thinking, I want to support our business, but when I go for 45 cents cheaper down the road, and as I'm looking on the map at different places, and you know, don't want to waste waste of time here, but I'm looking at 449, 447, 445, 447, 446, 447, literally down at Glenway, Work Road, everywhere. And I come into Delhi with Kroger's 479, UDF 479. It's like, and I know the points, what did you get pointed? They all get points off. Kroger's on Glenwood gives points off. So I don't understand it. But as I've said many times, we talked about this, and correct me if I'm wrong, electeds, there's got to be a way. I have done it, others should do it also. I'm going to say a phone number, and this phone number goes to the state. The state per se does not have a price gouging statute, but they can certainly look into things that they call, quote, unconscionable. To me, charging 45 cents more to the residents of Delhi and who happens to be here is unconscionable. And it's not right, especially someone like Kroger's or UDF that can set their own prices. They set their own prices. And some will say, well, that's just it's supply and demand.
I feel
crap on that. It's not about supply and demand. It is Delhi every time. Every time. Our family comes in from Michigan, they don't fill up in Delhi. Why? Oh my gosh, you guys are much more expensive. This is ridiculous. And if we get enough that will actually do it, call it. You can even go online. 1-800-282-0515. 1-800-282-0515. Trust me, by the time you put your comments online for everybody else to see and respond, you could have already made a complaint about it. But I think if the number of us can do that, that is a good start. I hope Kroger's hears this. I hope UDF hears this. And I'll put in one last shout out to the little Village Pump gas station directly across from Kroger's, who has consistently been a dime cheaper, consistently in a little mom and pop shop, while you all make your millions. It's not right. It's unconscionable. Perfect word for that. Anyway, 1-800-282-0515. If you think that the gas in Delhi is too much, or you think there's something funny going on, call that number or go online, get the email address, and you can email your concerns also. Is that accurate? Thank you. Yeah, you can fill a complaint out online and have them check into it. It's just crazy with all the other pricing and everything else that's going up. At least can we at least try to protect that? My goodness gracious. Kroger, here I am. Kroger's is the only game in town. It's the only game in town. So they have the prices being what they are. Where else are you going to go? Well, gosh, Delhi needs a grocery store. You had it. It was called Aldi's, it was called Biggs, Remke's, and you didn't support them. And now you have Kroger's being the only one here. Support your local businesses. Support the little village gas pump across the street. The loaded euro. The new restaurants. Everything that comes in. What?
UDF is running out of gas. That was a news story tonight.
Oh, UDF. Anyway, we got to stay together. You pull together as a community when there's injustices like that. In my opinion, an injustice or something that is unconscionable, making no sense. Please do that. 1-800-282-0515. That's all I have to say about that. Moving on, fire department update. Chief Campbell, we have a hiring recommendation. Mr. Louie. No, we don't. That's the next one. So, Chief.
I know it's like the first time we haven't had a hiring recommendation in a while, so yes. No, I'd like to start by thanking the community coming out last week and supporting the levy. It's not
generally when they thank us, when they get monies from us, about the only time.
I see it as a challenge to address the 46% that voted against it, to assure them that I will continue to act fiscally responsible to drive this department in the right direction in terms of service and to win their support, because it's definitely something that I don't want people to feel like we're taking them for granted in the measure. I mean, it's too important, and I really appreciate the support of the community that did come out and show their support for us in terms, and really the work starts today for where we go in the future. And it starts with our personnel.
Switch to the next one.
Oh, So we are basically year-to-date flat, same number of runs last year. And I want to stress the response time, since we've covered them so heavily over recent weeks and how important that is. That 5 minutes and 53 seconds, I'll come back to that later. On EMS, still running our normal percentages, nothing out of whack, but the one thing I do want to point out is I've called out to the board on terms of our EMS performance, the importance of getting a cardiac event, anybody that's having chest pains, a 12-lead monitor within 10 minutes of the call. And the benchmark we were looking for is 75%. When I first presented this to the board, I believe in February, we were at 60%. So when we see a problem and we try to address those problems, what I'm showing you is we start to see positive results as we carry out those audits. So at 72%, we still got room to go, and look forward to pushing that above 75%. Again, 100% would be definitely where we want to be. Next slide. So, in light of some of the conversations that I've had during the levy process, whether it's emails, phone calls, presentations, a lot of the pushback I was getting on things were comments to the effect that, well, you only make 13 runs a day, it sounds like you have too many stations, too many personnel, too many ambulances. It was too much. And you need to refocus and address it. I bring to light Monday, that shift carried out 20 details just in that 24-hour period. 7 of those details occurred in just over an hour's time. And I share this with you because when I show you that average response time of 5 minutes, 53 seconds, what it takes to accomplish that with this degree, you guys see it enough, we get double runs, triple runs. What this is showing you is first run comes in at 9:08, second run at 9:16, third run at 9:22. Again, we only have 3 ambulances, folks. Next run at 9:25, 9:26, 10:11, and 10:13. And in the course of that direction, people have commented that they really struggle with the fact that they see some of our runs, there's multiple trucks there. Sometimes there's an engine there, and I've always said it's a matter of the resources. People don't care what shows up on the door as long as it's quick and it has a trained paramedic with the equipment to do the job. And you see many of these instances, we have those chase vehicles responding to multiple calls to cut down on response time. We only require transport by 1 mutual aid ambulance in those 7 calls. Only 2 of them are refusals. So that's a measure of our skill, our turnaround. The fact that they're transporting to Christ and Mercy West and University Hospital should tell you these aren't short turnarounds. But these are our crews doing their job, quickly responding, transporting, and getting back in service. Nobody cares about how the sausage is made, as long as it's good. And this is just another example of many that I can give the board and give the community over the years that we run into these situations. But the one thing I want to call out in the level of processing, that is the time that it takes Hamilton County Communications to pick up the phone and call the fire department or set off our tones. You see 1 minute 17, 1 minute 6, 1 minute 12. That averages out to just those 7 runs, 1 minute 16 seconds. Our average response time, knowing that if you look at these calls, I had ambulances coming from Rapid Run into Bailey. I had ambulances responding from Neeb Road to Mentola on the far east side, still getting these response times. And our average response time from the time we got the call, 5 minutes, 10 seconds. We are doing our job. We are doing our job well. We are serving the public to our best. Again, I don't want to discredit any of the folks that did not vote for the levy. My job now is to prove to them our value and reassure them that we are always going to be there. And that's what they've done by giving us the support. So that's all I had, unless you had any questions.
Trustee Seavey.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you to everyone for the passing of the fire levy. Like I said, when you pull up the squad, you don't know who voted yes or who voted no, because it doesn't make any difference. We're there to help you. We're there to, be the life support. So, thank you to everyone, and please be appreciative of what you've got.
Yeah, I would agree, and I don't want to go back into it because we're going to move on, but, I'll be honest with you, Chief, as everyone, one of us knows, people are taxed out. They're tired of being taxed. I get it. We all get it. It comes down to the level of service that you want. Some people might say, we certainly want great service, but we'll take good service. We just don't have the extra income each month, and, so I think that's why the numbers were what they were. I don't think anyone ever brought into the quality of the work of the fire at all, or EMS. It's exceptional, it is. And that's what makes Delhi, as I said, makes Delhi kind of special, because not everybody can say that. And again, you need to go literally 2 blocks north, and they'll tell you all about it as they wait 35 minutes, 45 minutes for a squad in the city and those places around. But we all are. Everyone's tired of being taxed. How do you generate revenue? Not property tax. And I know that they're trying to figure this out in the state, and I hope they do. But it was tough. We knew it was tough, and a lot of work went into it. Again, educating the public on the services and what they're getting. That was all great. And what you have put together and the team that you put together is exceptional. It truly is. But as I said, and I know Sharon would agree, it comes down to brass tacks, comes down to money. And those that voted for it, I'm
Comes
sure
down
many
to
of them, it
forcing
was
people
tough,
to pay for
but
shit they don't
felt
want.
like, okay, and it was going to be tough financially, but fortunately, you went with a little bit lower numbers and trying to, get the community what it needs. And,
I can assure you, we will not take it for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Volunteers.
yeah, the volunteers and Sherry Jewell and everyone who put the committee together. Again, like we said, it wasn't our limit. We put it out there. It's up to the residents to say yay or nay, and they said yay. So continue on. Great job with that. And for the community, we're very aware. We're very aware on taxes and spending and not wanting to. So. Okay, did you have another from Trustee Sturts?
Very aware and still forcing us.
Trustee Sturts is out of town right now, and she wanted me to pass along this message. I want to thank the residents of Delhi for voting to pass the very necessary fire levy. As you know, we are blessed with one of the best departments. This is evidenced by response time, efficiency, care, and empathy for our residents and other services they provide. It has been my pleasure to work alongside the levy committee members to educate the public and support the men and women who take care of us. Congratulations.
Very good. Other updates, Chief, at all, or can we move on to Parks and Rec? Good. Parks and Recreation, please. Hiring recommendation, Mr. Luby.
Motion to approve the hiring of Patrick J. Burns as seasonal Parks and Recreation worker in the Parks and Recreation Department at a pay rate of $18 per hour upon successful completion of pre-employment drug test effective May 13th, 2026.
So moved?
Seconded. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved. Department update. Mr. Soupy, anything going on?
Yeah, thank you. Just a couple little highlights here. I don't know if Mr. Miller can go forward just a little bit. I mentioned last week, our last meeting, that we had a local Girl Scout troops in Cedar Harrison. They earned a badge. They built a couple of dog toy libraries down in each one of the dog parks, so you can bring a toy, leave a toy, new and used, and for everybody to enjoy. So I had a couple pictures there of what the group did. We really appreciate their hard work. And also with a little highlight around our lake, you can forward another one. So we had a couple signs and we just added some more around along with our fishing. I believe there was an issue of somebody swimming, so we wanted to put a few more around. So be aware there is no swimming in the lake. And also it's not about this time frame, but there is also no ice skating when it's nice and iced over. It's all just for your safety. So we'll add a few more signs if needed, and we'll keep going from there. And hopefully everybody kind of follows rules and pays attention to a few signs. And along with going back to the dog park, we have it'll probably come up later in the meeting comments. But we are closing, routine closing of the dog park. This one is scheduled for this Friday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. for our daily routine maintenance. We're going to do this about twice a month. It takes the mowing, spraying, weed eating, so we'll lock the gates and no dogs, and people are affected by any chemical sprays or anything that we're using. So
Pet-friendly chemicals.
that's about it I have tonight. If there's any other questions.
Very good. Trustee Stevie?
No, thank you for getting the signs up, because we did have a few attempts at swimming, so I'm glad to see that. And then also just a reminder, the turtles that are sunning are not friendly. Those are snapping turtles, so keep your children and their little hands away from the turtles. Thank you, Randy, because I know we try everything to keep everyone safe around there, and I think the signs will be an additional help.
Very good. Thank you. Police Department Chief Brown.
We have a motion to accept the retirement of Sergeant Adam L. Cox effective May 31st, 2026.
So moved.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Yes.
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 Motion approved. Resolution.
Resolution 2026-050, entering into an employment agreement with Adam L. Cox as school resource officer, and dispense with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this
I
resolution.
second the adoption of this resolution. Discussion, please. Chief Brown.
So I guess, where do I begin, right? Adam's been with us for a long time, 29 years, a little over 29 years. He's obviously worked as a patrol officer, a detective for a long time. He's got a lot of good experience training under his belt. And the reality is we'd like to keep him for a little longer and serve. He'll be serving St. Dominic Church School as the school resource officer there. So I can't say enough good things about Adam, but he's a true ambassador to the community. I know we talk about that a lot as far as what we're looking for in an employee. But Adam has still got a lot to give. He saw this as an opportunity to serve additionally for the community in a different capacity. And I think that all his skills fit right in with the school environment, with as far as interacting with the kids, the staff, the parents. Obviously, if he can use his investigative skills, hopefully he never has to. But the reality is he's going to have all those things on his tool belt to use if need be. And speaking to Adam and beyond, obviously you guys know him very well too. He still has a lot to give to the community.
Very good.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stevie?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes. Department update, Chief Brown.
So it's just a couple things. First and foremost, obviously this is National Police Week, and during this week we always like to pay tribute to all those who paid that ultimate sacrifice. And certainly we had one in our community, John Bechtel, back on October 25th, 1978, to respond to a run. He was killed in a car accident. So obviously we remember him, we remember all those who've given their life to what we do. And then also I like to give a shout out to our people who continue to come to work every day and do a fantastic job. And I can't say enough good things about them. Obviously it's a hard job. They put themselves in dangerous situations, and they understand what they signed up for, and they happily do it every day. So with that, I just wanted to give them a shout out. Secondly, this past Friday we had a couple of our officers receive awards at the Queen City Lodge 69 Awards Banquet. It's a county-wide event, so they've received awards out of all the officers in the county. Those being Detective Jimmy Gilbert received exemplary work for survivors of sexual assaults. Talking about a trying time dealing with somebody that's a victim of a sexual assault. He does a fantastic job with that. And secondly, Corporal Brad Durger received an award as part of a group of excellence in interagency investigations for his work with DART when he was doing DART work. So those are just two things. And then two separate shout outs. One, the Delhi Citizens Police Association purchased wreaths and put them on Officer Bechtel's memorial at the police station in Ulster. Also, we have a memorial for all that served our department over the years, and they put a wreath on there. And also, the DCPA and the Delhi Police Historical Society is purchasing food trays and side items on this Friday, National Police Memorial Day. to reward the officers that are working that day, and whoever else from the department would like to show up, just to honor their service to the community. So that's all I really have planned, unless you have any questions.
Trustee C.
Well, congratulations to Officer Gilbert and Officer Dozier. But congratulations and thank you to all of them during National Police Week. And you know, we always watch and see where they're sitting and who they're pulling over and what they're watching, and between speeders and as well as those nasty red lights that turn too fast, or you're going too fast to try to get through it. We do a good job. We do a great job. And we're very fortunate to have the Delhi Township Police Department. And thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Congratulations to the officers, and again, you've got an incredible team also, very well trained.
It's ass kissing at waist time.
Couldn't ask for more than that, and it is ambassadors that we look for, people who truly represent what is good and great. And big kudos also, and I won't say the officer's name, but I literally was at Kroger's yesterday, walking to my car, and I was glancing at the light, and it is dead red. And this car, this girl just flying right on through it. Someone was trying to cross it. There was the cruiser right there, all of a sudden you whoop, pulled it right over. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not because we want to be jerks or anything like that. No, it's safety, it's public safety, and everybody's out. It's better weather, and
Yes.
just be careful, be smart, and don't be running the red lights.
They run
You're
red
gonna run the
lights
and
with
that,
near
you're in the
zero
city or somewhere
accountability.
else where you might not get caught. If that's what you feel like makes your day. But don't do it here, you will get caught. And again, we don't need more accidents or people getting struck because you decided to run the light. So appreciate that. So kudos to them and that team that's out there working.
And if I may, I have one more quick thing. We did a Stop the Cruiser event this past Saturday at Kroger's to generate food for the Anderson Ferry Food Pantry. And what I was told before they left that day, 2 o'clock, was that they collected 1,000 pounds of food in 4 hours. And that doesn't include the toiletries they collected. So it's going obviously to Anderson Ferry Food Pantry for people that are obviously in need. So
Great.
we're going to do that in the fall again, so keep an eye on that. Come donate some food.
I think every year that gets a little bit bigger, a little bit, yeah. That's great, Jeff. That's
Thanks, Chief. Public Works, please, resolution.
Resolution 2026-51, authorizing the installation of traffic control signs at the intersection of Palmerston Drive and Stillwater Drive, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of the resolution. Discussion, please, Mr. Reberger.
Thank you, trustees. We did receive a request about some safety concerns at that intersection, Palmerston and Stillwater. Let's see, we had multiple people look at this intersection, including Chief Braun. We looked at multiple ideas to make the intersection a little safer without slowing down traffic a lot. It is kind of an odd intersection there, I guess you would call it. But we did come up with a stop sign, except when turning right. Stop except when turning right, which I think is a practical and proactive improvement for the intersection that should keep traffic flowing safely. We also added some parking restrictions to add some visibility to the opposite side stop sign of the intersection, which I do think will also help out.
Very
Any
good.
questions on it?
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stevie?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes. Department update, Mr. Reberger?
Yes, I believe I have another slide in there for the enrichment day. Is there?
It's up.
Oh, there you go. Let's see, last Friday we had an enrichment day at C.O. Harrison. We showed up with a truck and a skid steer with some steps where the kids could go in there, and I think they really enjoyed it. I think they had 9 groups of kids, so it was a pretty busy day, and they enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's all I got.
Marketing and Events Department, please. Mr. Riesenberg.
Good evening. The Delhi dispatch has finally been delivered to all the township residents. Inside of the Delhi Dispatch is the 2026 special events calendar. It's listing most of the events going on in Delhi throughout the year, and some of those events in honor of America 250. This Friday on the lawn we have the Oak Hills Jazz Band, the Scottadelics. They perform at 6:30 p.m. So come out and see them. Next Tuesday, May the 19th, the Delhi Event Center is having an open house from 4 to 7 p.m. It's an opportunity for the public, for businesses to come out and see everything that is offered at the Delhi Event Center. A lot of people haven't been in here yet and don't know that this place exists, so we're trying to make it well known to everyone. So invitations are out. There's an invitation in with the Delhi Dispatch this week. Saturday, May the 23rd is our first regular concert on the lawn with the Tillers from 7 to 9 p.m. And the lawn bar will be open an hour before and then an hour after the concert. Saturday, May the 30th, the Oak Hills School District and the Delhi Athletic Club will present the 2026 Health and Wellness Fair. The event will be held up here in the Blossom Room, and there will be a few displays down in the front driveway in front of the building near the lawn. Later that same day, on May the 30th, we have the Flavors of Summer Food Truck Festival. That'll be out around the lawn from 5 to 9 p.m. A nice variety of food trucks will be here, and a good opportunity for people to come out and enjoy the weather. We have a busy lineup of summer events on the lawn. Those are all listed in the 2026 special events calendar that came out. Summer break is coming up for the school kids. We still have openings at the Delhi Event Center summer art workshops. It's for kids ages 8 to 13. It's an opportunity to let your kids creativity show. Information on these and other events are available at the Delhi Event Center website, www.delhieventcenter.com. The Delhi Athletic Club has had 3,258 check-ins so far for the month of May, and over 183 check-ins so far in 2026. They have a total of 3,521 total members in the club. And lastly, the Delhi Athletic Club is hosting a summer camps for kids ages 5 to 10 years old. These camps will be held at Delhi Park.
$2.85 an hour for that posture.
For the kids. That's all I have.
Very good, Trustee Stevie.
You know, I was thinking, so many times we refer to our firemen and our policemen as ambassadors to the township and represent the township, and you do such a great job. Well, so do the residents do a great job, and so I would really like to hear that more residents, in talking with their neighbors or their family or the clubs that they belong to, recommending that they use the Delhi Event Center. And get a hold of Bob. I know I've referred a few people to him, and he's great to work with, and it's a great place to be. But y'all could really carry the good news about it and be ambassadors and marketers for the event center. So thanks a lot. Keep the good word out there.
Bob, a quick question on May 30th, Flavors of Summer Food. Lots of food trucks or food trucks that will be coming. I remember an issue a year or so back on inviting our local Delhi businesses, like the Loaded Euro, like that. Are we inviting them in, or is there a special day that we're Taste of Delhi, or what's going on?
They have been invited. I know Mary sent out a an invitation to.
We have a microphone there, please.
Oh, sorry. Mary sent out a list of invitations to a lot of the local food trucks and some of the repeat food trucks that we've had last year. So I know we do have a couple of the local food trucks that will be here. I don't have a complete list with me tonight.
Do they have to have a food truck to be here?
They don't have to. Like the hot dog vendor that's at the
Right.
little filling station right here.
Maybe where the gas is a dime cheaper.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be here. They won't have a food truck, but they'll have a tent and a grill.
Okay. Because I want to make sure we make every effort to make sure that these local businesses, especially like the Luna Juro, these others that could flip flop and fly during the Euros and they're only a block away. So throwing it out there, maybe we have other times scheduled also. So I'm excited. I think we got a lot of great opportunities for people to come together in the community and outside the boundaries, if you would, to come into Delhi and see what's going on and have some fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and feel safe in your community. Can't beat that. Very good. Let's see here. We got administration.
Resolution 2026-52, authorizing the township administrator to spend greater than $10,000 on behalf of the township in fiscal year 2026 and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution. Any discussion on this, Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir. So this is for, so the spending authority is for Monarch Construction to do minor capital improvements to DTS. We're looking at doing some repairs to some curbs that have been damaged.
Alrighty.
As well as installing a new ADA ramp at the south end of the lawn near the stage. So we've had some accessibility issues that we want to address and make sure that we're meeting the needs of the residents.
Yeah, I know if you're regular concert goers, I will be very happy to see that. So thank you. That's great news.
Thank you.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stevie?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, resolution passes. Big shout out on your schedule too, Bob, which one it was. On August 19th, the menus, Tim Goldbrainer, we put a posting out that this is his last year of shows. The menus are coming to an end. So that will be one of their last shows, August 19th. So check it out right here in Delhi. It'll be packed, racked, and stacked, I'm sure.
Is that the part?
It's at the park, even better, plenty of room. Good. Congratulations, Tim Goldbrainer. My goodness, 40-some years in the music business. Awesome. Thank you so much. Do you have an administrator's report, Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir, very briefly. Mr. Roach, Mr. Supi, and I attended Duke Energy's Energizing the Future event last week over in Covington. Essentially, it was higher level engineers and executives from Duke explaining to community stakeholders the new redundancy improvements to their infrastructure as well as expansion that they plan on making. It was nice to be able to pull that curtain and kind of see behind and what they're working on. So I do think there are going to be some redundancy improvements coming. One item that did come up, and it seems like I'm always talking about this now, is aggregation. The gas aggregation program that we have is going to be renewed in October. Duke is moving to a completely new model. What everybody needs to understand is that Duke does not produce a single unit of natural gas. They're in the market just like we are. They're buying from other suppliers. So they don't have, you would think even with the volume that they use, they might have an edge, but they're really competing along the same lines as every other community or every other purchaser. And so they're essentially taking themselves out of this competitive market since they're middleman anyways. What they're going to do is they're going to find the best rate that they can, but they're just going to tack on 42 cents per CCF, okay? And that's their administration fee, their service fee that goes on the supply side. They're still gonna charge for you know, transmission, you know, that side of the equation. I'm sorry?
Is that on our bill, that's delivery charge?
That's the delivery charge, thank you. So, and of course, you already, you know, you'll always have the regulatory riders. So this is what you're gonna see. If you are on Duke, it could go potentially month to month with them purchasing gas. And your not only is your gas bill gonna fluctuate based on the time of year, but they're just automatically gonna add a 42-cent surcharge to cover their costs. And they're very open about this. It's what they're calling their standard service offer, okay? I had an opportunity to talk to the Director of Community and Government Relations, and they have no problem with aggregation. Their main business is in delivery of electric, delivery of gas, okay? Yes, they generate electric, but they're also in the market, they're buying too. They buy once or twice a year depending on the contract. So essentially they don't care where who your supplier is. They're gonna deliver it, and that's where they're gonna make their money, okay? So as a consumer, as an account holder with Duke, you've got three options on how you buy both electric and gas, okay? You can shop yourself, okay? You can go to Ohio Energy Choice, and you can select your own supplier, okay? And it will tell you right at the top when you're looking at the list of suppliers what the current Duke rate is, so you know that's your baseline, and you know what you're shopping against, okay? Option two is aggregation, local government aggregation. In May of 2014, the voters of Delhi chose to create an energy aggregation program, an opt-out program. You can't change that, okay? So you will, if you are still if you're in Delhi and you haven't opted out previously, you will go on the aggregation program, okay? I can tell you right now, without even looking at the numbers, whatever aggregation rate we get, we're going to beat Duke's gas rate, because we're not going to have a 42-cent surcharge on top of it. The margin between, it's always been very competitive and very tight because we've been essentially competing in the same market for that supply rate. The game's changed. There's going to be a huge margin, and gas prices will go up. As a consumer in Delhi, you either need to shop for yourself, or you need to you need to make sure that you're on the aggregation program. Being a Duke customer that is buying directly from Duke as the supplier is going to cost you money. So we're trying to look out for you, and I do want to give the community a heads up on this.
Being redundant.
Meanwhile,
Total waste of time.
First, our new electric rates come on. We're at 10.39 cents. The last year's rate for Duke was 10.08 cents. Okay. In June, their rates are going up too. So we are just barely over last year's Duke rate. They're going to go up, and once again, the aggregation program is going to show its value.
Notice he covered his nose and mouth, unlike the Oak Hill School employee.
You still have the option to shop yourself, but you have to be a proactive, you have to be an educated consumer to play that game. So there's a lot of fight with those other options.
Mr. Miller, can you help me understand something? One of the things that I don't understand, and again, might have been what the residents voted for, but one of the complaints is, why do I have to opt out of what I've always had? Why aren't the others doing the opt-out? Why do I have to go with the new program?
Energy aggregation is all about bulk shopping, okay? It's the Costco option, okay? Instead of going out and buying our gas, week by week, as we need, as we empty our tank, we're buying all of our gas, all of our fuel at the beginning. We've got one big tank that we're saving for. That's how
Stealing people's freedom
that's how we can stabilize
of default choice.
the cost of that electric or gas. and it's how we can get it cheaper because we're bulk buying. Okay? Aggregation.
Ned, I'm not the only one that's talking.
Is by default an opt-out program.
See if Chief Jeff wants to selectively enforce against me while not forcing against other people.
The supplier
Possibly making false claim that I was loud and the other people weren't.
That's our leverage in this aggregation game.
And that was by residential voting.
That's why residential vote. That's what the aggregation programs are. I don't know if I don't even.
One group of people forcing another group of people into something they don't want.
I don't think there is an opt-in aggregation program. It wouldn't make sense. So, and I don't legally.
Makes sense to some citizens.
So if there's an exception to that rule out there, I'm not aware of it. And it's certainly not the norm in this region.
Well, essentially, you opt in when you vote yes for the aggregation.
You opted in.
Unless you voted no.
Whether you voted for it or not, the community voted it in. That's why you're opted in automatically.
AKA mob rule.
That's what I was, yeah, it's an automatic thing, and again, if you want to stay with Duke, you can do that. Where if I've always been with Duke, is it going to automatically go to the other? If I've always been with Duke?
If you've always been with Duke, when we do the renewal, you're going to be opted in. Now, there shouldn't be a lot of people that are by default on Duke. Maybe somebody, a new account holder that starts up, in the middle of an aggregation program. You're either on the aggregation program or at some point you've opted out.
And by the numbers that you presented tonight, this is pretty much a no-brainer.
For gas, certainly. I can tell you right now, we have sat in this room and we have talked about the margin on our electric, and if you were on our electric aggregation, throughout this 2-year window, you were saving about 12% on your electric supply side, which might be a couple $100 a year, right? Gas is going to be a whole different ballgame at 42 cents.
Couple $100 going right back to government and the fire department levy.
I don't. It's like Duke doesn't care. They don't care if you're buying from them or not. They just want to make sure they're covering their costs. So, the one good thing about their new standard service offer is it's completely transparent. They're telling you right from the get-go, we're just, we're going to buy it whatever the market allows, and we're adding this cost to it to cover our expenses. The other, the way they were doing it before was kind of a formula that didn't really make a whole lot of sense, and they were just trying to,
Okay,
so.
good update.
Yep.
Thank you for that. Community Development Department, Mr. Roach.
Good evening, trustees. We held a fund resolutions for this meeting. We're going to hold to 27th with the absence of trustee Sturts. So I'll just give you a quick round of more update what's going on in the township with some development stuff. I know I reported on this before, but 889 Anderson Ferry, they're down there doing site work now, getting the site ready to start construction of the gas station. We're still not in, we still don't know what brand of gas it's going to be, a Marathon or Shell. They haven't decided which.
$85 an hour to rest your head on the hand.
You know if there's going to be a store there, or
has
it will be a
operate posture.
convenience store as well. They have one, if you're familiar with the one, they put one on Harrison Avenue in Chivy at the old Frank's Garden Center. And they have a convenience walk-in store there, yes. I know I reported last week that Hope Fish and Chicken was opening yesterday. They actually did a soft opening today, so they are open. On the way here, I noticed a few cars in the drive-through. Anytime now next week or so, look for the demolition of Frisch's on Delhi Pike to make way for the new 7-room. Buffalo Wild Wings, I think I reported that we issued a permit there. And if you haven't been by the Seton Sports Complex, I spoke with the construction superintendent yesterday, and they're on track for August. They're moving out some spoils of dirt now, grading on the east side of the property. They're moving out construction trailers, and once that those construction trailers out, then they'll be doing the final layer of asphalt.
Goodness. All right, Trustee C.
Thank you, Tony.
So new neighbors coming in, 7 Brew, Fish Hook, and
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings, which will be up there by Penn Station, up in that area, correct?
At the other end of that strip, yes, that's correct, toward McDonald's and the Parkside, yes.
And then a new marathon, possibly Shell, gas, and little mini mart, whatever that is, down at Anderson Ferry and Rapid Run.
Yes, and actually with that development down there, I know it's been a long time coming. There's some obstacles they had to accomplish down there with some lane changes and things. They jumped another project in front of ours. There's actually, with their development plan, there's actually 2 phases. The first phase is the store and 2 gas canopies. And the second phase to come to the west is a 20,000 square foot strip center for other retail. That's the second phase of the development plan.
Wow. Okay.
Someone paying attention. But
Every 7 brew I've been by, ever since they announced that they were coming to Delhi, they're all business galore. The cars are loaded up, so 7 brew must be a pretty good thing.
I haven't heard a negative thing. Administrator Miller, Mr. Suki, myself had the pleasure to meet with some Brixmor property representatives today. Brixmor owns, all the Kroger area and T-Mobile area on that property, and we announced that we're getting 7 brew. And he said the only problem we're probably going to have is traffic control.
Yeah, a lot there. Yeah. And again, don't forget your others, your Dunkins and your Big B's, and you got to support all of them. So yeah, good. Well, a lot of investments going into the township. Okay. Announcement of community events.
The Delhi Citizens Police Association 21st Annual Golf Outing is Friday, May 15th over at Aston Oaks Golf Course.
Pushing that for a
Launch
while.
begins at 12 p.m. With a shotgun start at 1:30. It is $440 per foursome. And if you're interested, use the Venmo code and is there, actually, Chief, is there a link to, do they have a page or who do they contact?
I believe it's sold out.
Is it sold out now? Okay.
But they can obviously reach out to the station and we'll help them with any questions they have.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Chief. All right, the Delhi Dog Park will be temporarily closed for routine maintenance on Friday, May 15th from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. These signs are posted in the park as well. All right, thank you, Randy. The annual Cleanup Delhi Day is Saturday, May 16th at the Delhi Senior Community Center parking lot. Open to Delhi residents only. Proof of residency is required. Safely dispose of unwanted household materials at this free event. No yard waste, computer equipment, hazardous chemicals, liquids, paint, batteries, or closed drones will be accepted. Residents must be in line by 1 p.m. to participate in this free event. Free Fishing Fridays at Clearview Lake began May 2nd and will run through September 26th. This is catch and release only.
Nobody follows those rules that I see.
Opens June 6th and will run from 9 until noon at the Delhi Park Clearview Lake parking lot. The Delhi concerts in the park kick off on June 17th with the Cincinnati Transit Authority, a tribute to the music of Chicago. Brought to you by St. Dominic Athletic Association, Kiwanis Club of Riverview, Delhi Hills, Seton High School, James J. Luby, Inc., Robin Forrest, Lori O'Brien, Susan Klein, and Delhi Dental. This event begins at 7 p.m. and runs until 9:30. All concerts in the park are held at the Delhi Park Performance Pavilion at 5125 Fuller Road. Food and drinks are available for purchase. No coolers, please. Summer entertainment on the lawn at Delhi Town Square kicks off on Saturday, May 23rd with a concert featuring the Tillers beginning at 7 p.m. And then the following weekend we have, on May 30th, we have Flavors of Summer Food Truck Festival featuring Red Hot Riot from 5 until 9 p.m. As always, when we have an event out on the lawn, the lawn bar is open for all your refreshment needs. The Delhi Athletic Club, in partnership with Delhi Parks and Recreation, presents Recreational Pickleball League. This is a 2 versus 2 adult co-ed league with a limit of 12 teams. please call Eric at 513-278-4061 or visit www.delhi.oh.us for registration information. And as always with any events in the park, for additional information, please call the Parks office at 513-451-3300 or email parks@delhi.oh.us.
Mr. Miller, I have Friday, May 15th, which is this Friday, being Oak Hill's Scottadelics Band. Is that still on for this Friday?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't get on this list.
This Monday is the annual Bailey golf outing over at the Country Club. And Bill Hemmer with the Fox News has always been one of the big sponsors because his parents and such very active with Bailey. But this year they're acknowledging our safety services. So police and fire and Green Township also. So that's next Monday, all day long, I think. But I think that's sold out also for the golfers. So yeah, thanks for that. Well, we have no other business that come before the board. We will entertain a motion to adjourn.
With no further business to come before the board, we have a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion is adjourned. Our next meeting is Wednesday, May 27th at 6 o'clock. Thank you. We finally had some residents come out and address the board. That was awesome. So we're always here. Feel free to come up and voice concerns and whatever it is to try and make Delhi a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm going to feel to come up when the police chief gets up on his feet when I'm expressing and articulating my freedoms. I don't know about that.
Thank you, thank you. I'm well. How are you?
They lock up the drugs, Doug, that they put in the ambulances. They lock up the drugs that they put in the ambulances. Because they have the doors open unattended.
Any of
inside and all that stuff.
Any of the controlled substances are under special code. They have to use their own personal IDs, unlock it. Yeah, was it the Mighty Township?
That was the only one that had its windows up. Looked like it was unlocked, but I'm not sure. All the Delhi ones had open doors with bags inside, and it looked like you could get to the back as well.
You could get into the back, but all the controlled substances
Locked up.
Yeah.
Well,
And then monitors when they have to enter the key codes. So I can't use your ID, they can't use my ID.
And that who's going in, coming out.
You have to have two paramedics.
So to record that? That's cool.
You have to have two paramedics.
Wow.
It won't unlock for just one person.
Wow.
So, yeah, because that's part of DEA, EMS protocol. In order to carry the drugs, you have to be able to secure them. So, double secure on the inside where we store it in the firehouse. It's limited access, requires two IDs, and we have to log any changes. So, narcotics or any Schedule 3 move from spot to spot has to be logged. Where, when, how much was it, what was the
What is
something very meticulous.
Where are you at on the election stuff?
What's that?
What are you hearing from you back on the election stuff?
No, did you see the tweet?
I only saw that you were asking me for that. I haven't seen anything since I sent it.
So I looked on the website. I just don't know who would I reach out and say I agree.
I'd like the people that agree to put together a unified message to the Board of Elections of Hamilton County.
I was just gonna call and say, hey, we've got an issue with the signs being too close to the buildings. It's not being communicated to the
Thank you.
or the committees of ballot initiatives. And there needs to be retrained on their personnel to move the signs to the proper location and communicate to the ballot initiatives, anybody passing out literature, there will remain in that spot.
I think I did remind you in that vein that I thought it'd be better if we had a unified.
Oh, I was just going to do my part. Like I said, I was going to just call them up and say, hey, I've been on both sides of this.
You think that would be just as good if we all caught up independently, or?
I would think so. It'd be just like reinforcement. My thing would be like, educate and training and make a part of your training communication with anybody that's passing around any information, any campaign signs, and things like that. Because I don't think they like conflict. I don't think, yeah, I think they're.
Nobody really likes conflict. You see what happened tonight. And I'm going to get on video. I'm going to prove that. He said they're a waste of time. That's what he said. We're going to get the contracts. It was clear as day. And then this guy, he was here. I don't know if he called out lying or just misspeaking, but obviously taking out my side. And it's a legit concern. And we're going to report him because I think there's a chance that he's wrong about that. I think he's exempt from certain. He's a lawyer, $285 lawyer guy. I'm a guy that jumped on the side. I got no resources. I mean, I got the internet. But if it turns out that I'm right, not only the ethics violations, but the cover-up and all that. If I'm wrong, I mean, I'm wrong. Everybody's already probably saying I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I want him to be a man. If I'm right, I want him to be a man and say, I should have given financial disclosure.
Yeah, I hope so.
This much this year.
So green fire but no police, but Delhi.
And even if the law says, you know what that tells me, if the law says that, then we have a problem with lawmakers we need to address. Just like the school bus they did out here on that double yellow road. We're putting out the stop sign, we're using flashing lights. I bring Township Lieutenant says they can be ticketed. I have a Marshall Highway Patrol investigation, but it has my information saying yes, you can ticket that. I have AI saying you can ticket it, and I have Delhi Police saying we can't ticket it. And then I said, well, let's get the resolution. The township will pass a resolution. And one officer said, that's enough. The lieutenant says, that's not enough. So now you have no accountability. School bus safety for those kids. And I know all these things. I mean, I wanted to get a hold of Jeff. I appreciate it. Thanks, Doug. Yeah, you take care.
Chief, Rich,
Yes, sir.
thanks for being here.
Hey,
I
nothing.
know it sucks sometimes, but
Nothing I'm going to hold against you. I think you took the wrong side on this, and I'm going to point out that he clearly was talking about wasting people's time.
wow.
And it was clear to me that it was an insult to me, and you clearly stated something that wasn't truthful.
Which part?
That he wasn't saying that talking about wasting time.
I can't answer for him. I'm just saying, as far as I took it as wasting people, we're going into the same argument again. We're wasting people's time.
This was the first time I brought up this ethics
But it was an
violation in
email.
public
It was emailed us.
that nobody replied to me on.
Right, because you're.
So what shouldn't I bring it up again when nobody replies?
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad you
Okay.
come here. I'd rather
Yeah.
see it here, send an email, whatever. Here you can actually maybe try and get some answers, which is, I always like that a lot better than the emails and try and get this, try and get that. It's like, just come here. It's on public. You're filming. It's like.
Even
we'll go
when
with
you and I got into a little bit, I think we knew each other. We have enough mutual respect
Absolutely.
that we were able to rein it back in a little bit.
Absolutely.
But with him, when he went as a public servant, one of the most highest paid in our township, smirking at the situation.
The highest paid.
I don't know if you saw the smirk. I encourage you to watch my video. I probably posted tonight. I got no kills when I got post too. And look at the smirk he's doing. That's not becoming of a lawyer getting $285 an hour billing. I'm not saying he's getting that, but his firm's billing $285 an hour.
Yeah.
Does the smirk at a citizen? And you look at his posture. He's a representative. Like each and every, you talked about the representatives. I had an argument, discussion about a police officer if he represents Delhi or not.
Right.
This guy's representing Delhi, and it's fine because who's going to see this? You guys are getting maybe roughly 100 views or less. Posting that you posted a video.
The meetings? Oh.
Yeah, so not a whole bunch of people are going to see it anyway, and he's pretty much unaccountable. But I'll spend my time. I mean, I do a lot of things where I plan on doing it, and then I fall short because I'm a busy guy.
Fire
Busy
emails
guy.
coming here. I do it.
And
That's
we're going to see. He's definitely exempt from reporting to some state agencies that others have to report to, but I don't think he's exempt from financial disclosures when he's recommending something to a citizen that he ultimately profits
Right,
from.
and that's something you need to check into. That's something where
I already got it lined up. I know who to contact and what.
And I was
now,
trying to.
Did you see when he stood up when we were getting a little heated, me and lawyer guy, and he stood up, Chief Jeff?
Well, just I think that's just kind of a police presence. Like, guys, come on, back it down, because it started to get verbal, and you know how everything starts.
I'm
with
sorry,
a spark.
I wanted to catch him real quick. If
Yeah,
I
go
could, I
ahead.
appreciate
All
you
right, go
speaking
ahead.
with me afterwards.
See you, Chief.
Hey, Chief, can I walk and talk with you? So I feel like some of those kids y'all chasing after because I lost my belt. Lost my belt, and I got taxpayer paying for something that makes us less comfortable. Yeah, it's a little chilly. I just wanted to get clarity on what you stood up for. if that was an action I'd take that triggered that reaction, or if you thought I was threatening him at some point, or what was it all about then?
Well, because you were being argumentative with him. You got to give people a chance to talk.
Was he being argumentative with me?
Rich, I'm not going to get into it. But
I'm not trying to get into it. I'm just trying to get
you
straightforward
spoke,
answers.
You gave him an opportunity to speak, and you were talking over him.
So did you get up with?
I got up because I was going to turn the mic off.
Okay.
That's it. Well, I know. I heard you over there talking about use of force and all that. It had nothing to do with that.
Okay. That's why I asked, because
Nothing to do with that. We know each other. We talk all the time. It's not that big a deal.
No, I made probably the biggest mistake I made up there, in my mind anyway, was I thought I was still within my 5 minutes.
You're passionate. I know you are.
Yeah, I have passion.
And I know you don't want.
And I have shortcomings.
We all do. And I know you don't want people to look differently on you because you're being argumentative and rude. I was trying to help you, to be honest with you. Truly, if I'm being truthful, because I know what your intentions are. You're passionate. I know how to read you.
I'm not going to tolerate a public servant paid $2.85 an hour.
I'm not going to get involved in that.
I'm letting you know, smirking at me.
Yeah.
And being argumentative with me. And he started off on my time. I can guarantee that because my speech wasn't 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
He started off on my time. And he's got the posture of a guy that's coming in here like he's tired and lazy from working all day or something. Everybody else in the room pretty much has good posture except him.
Well, I got to put my hat on like you.
Yeah, mine you can see. I always thought this was made to fold in, and maybe it is.
Isn't it? Did you say that was your dad's hat?
Yeah, but the new ones at Speedway, these are down so that when you put it on, it kind of clamps on your head. You know what I mean?
You know what you need? You need one of those.
I need one of the, actually, I need that one of them hats. Because, you know, I got the junior police officer sticker.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it makes it official, right?
Let me block the sun for you. Is that better?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all respecting my right today. I was up at Rapid Run Middle School and y'all was respectful of that. I appreciate that.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing better. You know, there's different kinds of disability, and I claim disability with y'all.
Good, how are you?
Very good,
related to ADA, which is different than any like Ohio disability where you're getting benefits. I'm not like claiming ADA for like you guys need to pay me money. I'm claiming ADA that I need reasonable accommodations, and the benchmark on that's supposed to be is your disability affecting major aspects of your life. And I think when you go through about 2 years paying the doctor in cash when the whole time you were insured,
you were
related to your disability.
Sorry, I'm not trying to blind you. But
That points to that the disability is valid, and what they did, I just can't keep up with all the people I got to follow up on and take a chance with government on all the things I already. What y'all did with ADA, I don't think that was right. It wasn't right, and y'all were asking me HIPAA information. Y'all don't have a right to get my health information, then make determination on that. What you're supposed to make a determination on is what I articulate to you that my disability is affecting, and why I need what those reasonable accommodations are. I need are because of my disability, not what my disability is. I'm not supposed to have to. Anyway, I appreciate you listening. I don't want to take your time. I'm getting a little bit better with that.
What's that?
Trying to cut the conversation shorter. I've had a couple heated things with your guys, and I thought they might have done wrong, but you know, I haven't reported the last 2 folks for violations. You might have saw I gave the guy that said fuck you accommodation, right?
Yeah.
I thought you might like that. I thought it was a little bit of humor, and frankly I feel a little bad for the guy. I mean, I thought he's way off hook, and when I heard that Chief Jeff is looking into the alcohol part of that, because I told him that day, I said I don't think that's good policing, because they just had him poured it out and all that, and I heard you were getting involved, and it sounded like you might be writing a resolution for it or a direction. I felt a lot better about that.
Yeah.
And
buddy.
that played into me not wanting to make a complaint and all that stuff too.
I do my best, you know.
Yeah, I know you're busy. I appreciate you taking this a little bit of time, and I can get back to rolling. I got more accountability to tonight. It's almost a full-time job.
Yeah. The hat looks good on you, bud.
I'm staying up till 4 a.m. doing this some nights.
Yeah.
Everybody asking me if I'm getting paid. I don't get paid crap. About to dump another 400 in to get space to save more videos.
What's for dinner?
I ate earlier. Mostly probably gonna go home and rest, because I rode my bike up to the middle school and then from there to the high school.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then I made it home, and I'm just a little tired.
That's a workout, bud.
For me, yeah, for my body. I used to do the 4-hour ride and walk.
Yeah.
I'd go my house to Mount St. Joe, down Bender, all the way across the somehow I'd pick up I'd pick up Bridgetown.
Oh.
I think I told you this before. Go all the way down to Wendy's on Harrison, and then finish the square to come back home. It's 4 hours. A lot of walking there too. I walk up hills. I walk up some hills. Hey, you take care.
Hey, you too, buddy.
You driving this?
Yeah.
This? Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. I just got it back. I got wrecked a couple weeks ago.
Is that yours or
It's the township.
Township?
Yeah.
You get to take it home?
Yeah. 1.7 response, my friend.
You get to use it at home?
Yeah.
Like going to the store and stuff?
Or in case I got to go out. Yeah, department heads get more latitude with that because we're on call 24/7.
K9 too?
K9 as far as K9 doesn't really drive it. Obviously, you know, to do like if he's got to go to the store and that's on his way home or something.
Okay.
But as far as you know, he's not on call 24/7 like I am. You know what I mean? I'm always at the beck and call of everything.
We still just have the one K9?
Yeah.
And it's Summers. Okay.
Good stuff. He's the guy you gave the award to, isn't it?
Yeah, the accommodation. My best 3-second video. Fuck you too. Can't be fighting words, right? No fighting words. You know, it's funny, it's ironic. It's ironic because I heard that one of the most complaints we get are people cussing up in the park from the residents, not from people in the park. And I'm like, I can make that records request. I'm not sure it's going to prove true. But I didn't do that, but I was riding my bike up down here, a couple young kids, and they're like, motherfucker this, motherfucker that. And I'm like, that don't sound right. And then I'm like, and I just put out video that says speech advocate calls police on neighbor speech. Because my neighbor, he's always, pussy this, pussy. Well, he used to be, he got a little bit better. And my other neighbors complained, like, we got kids, and so I said, I'll take it up with the PD. Yeah. And he got better, and then he slips now and then, but. All right, my man. Hey. Yeah, it's good to see you too. Appreciate what you're doing. Doing some kind of auto exposure. So that's a wrap, folks. Love, peace, God bless.